So the last time I pumped out content on the channel was back in October of 2019. Those of you who are very familiar with the channel will know that that is very odd behavior coming from me. Someone who has been consistently pumping out content every single week since 2016 to just completely disappearing off YouTube for like 3 months, completely out of character. And you'd think, what's the explanation behind all of this? Outside of the YouTube world, I'm an accountant. By title, I'm a part qualified accountant at the very, very late stage. And with that comes its challenges. Juggling a 9 to 5 whilst creating content and studying a degree is hard enough. Doing that with, say, a degree that is actually a professional qualification akin to a master's degree, and also having a very demanding job that's a 9 to 6 and beyond, that's hell. Now, consider the fact that as a creator, it typically takes me about 2 hours to shoot on location, and that's not even considering the time it takes to get to the location and back. And editing takes significantly longer, like significantly longer. It's hard. It's actually really, really hard. And I will just push on, because I'll tell myself, I have to be consistent to be successful in this trade, no matter what. Everything else has to stop. And that developed a very unhealthy, obsessive behavior. It's actually quite a pleasant walk here in Wadham Park, given the fact that it's not warm outside. And so that's obviously preventing a lot of people coming through, so less foot traffic. And we've been quite fortunate in the UK in the sense that it hasn't been that cold. I mean, look, no gloves, and this is not a warm jacket, it's a thin jacket, and I've just got like a thin layer underneath. No winter coat, because it really isn't that cold. But yeah, what was I saying again? Basically, I was talking about the obsessive behavior. And so, pumping 2-3 videos a week at sometimes, that meant sacrificing time with family, sacrificing time when I really should have been studying. And well, I couldn't really sacrifice time with work because work was extremely demanding. But it just wasn't a good place for me to be in. Obviously, that led to lack of sleep as well, which probably made me even more frustrated. Making videos only begun to feel like a chore because of the constant chasing to get content done and get it out as quickly as possible. I wasn't really enjoying the process, and it was exacerbated. It was exacerbated because I would look at my hard work and see the views that it's getting, and in my humble opinion, the views it was getting for me just were lacking for the most part. And then what would I do? I'll go and look at other people's work, overanalyze and think, okay, what is it they're doing that I'm not doing? And that just led to more frustration, which, was not healthy. Even the fat loss series, the whole idea of that was to motivate myself and motivate you guys, and at the same time be able to bring out more content that would make me more consistent. So it was a good concept. However, it wasn't feasible because, like I've just said, I was time constrained. And so the time that I could have taken to create better content, I was worrying about the next fat loss episode. It just didn't work with my lifestyle. To cut the long story short, I decided to take a break from YouTube. I thought it was the best thing for me to do and focus on my exams, which I was sitting in last December. And It was a very difficult decision for me because I convinced myself that if I stopped making content regularly, I would just lose motivation altogether and just completely stop, full stop. But I'm glad I did do it. The initial plan was actually to pump out all my old content first and then announce to you guys my intentions to take a little break from YouTube, you know, spend more time with family, spend more time with friends, and just like reset and readjust to things. But that didn't happen, and the reason why that didn't happen is because work which was already hectic, was going through these new changes that just made things 100 times worse, to the point where it was even difficult to find time to study, let alone edit. That's how crazy it got. I went from leaving occasionally 1 hour late, which is actually the norm at my workspace, even though it's a 9 to 6. You see people chilling till 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that became the norm for me, you know? I started leaving at ridiculous hours. So that made everything outside of work second place. And that does not compute with my lifestyle. It really doesn't. So it was depressing, and you know, those around me started to see that, and they were like, this is not a look good for you, Riley. It's really not. It's quite negative, and I'm not a negative person. I'm really not. Fortunately, I was actually able to still pass my exam. So now I literally have one more paper left before I fully qualify. So I can't wait for that day, because that's going to be a huge weight off my shoulder, and I can focus more on the creative side and not studying, because doing 3 things, studying, working, and doing the creative stuff, is extremely challenging. So it'll be nice to park one for good. I was also able to plan some changes around the channel, around my branding, and I just hope that, you know, the plan that I've put into place will manifest, and it will show itself in this year, 2020. That's the hope. I'm hoping so, because I did put a lot of work into that behind the scenes whilst you guys weren't being graced with my content. In all honesty, taking a break from YouTube has been one of the best things I've done. It's been very therapeutic. I've been able to realize that it's not, well, not even realize, because I already know this, but to kind of remind myself, yes, that's the word I'm looking for, to remind myself that it's not actually about the views, it's about the quality of the videos that you pump out. And that's what I really should be concentrating on, the quality of my videos and not the numbers that it generates. So as I said earlier, I started this whole YouTube gig in 2016, and since then, I'm about to reach £750 in ad revenue. I haven't touched this ad revenue wallet. It's called Google AdSense. I've not touched it since I started this channel, and it's only generated £750. No, it hasn't even generated that yet. It's nearly reaching that. So that kind of emphasizes to you, this YouTube thing that I'm doing, the numbers that I'm generating, it's not paying me to do what I'm doing for my time. So even though I enjoy doing what I'm doing, you know, the trade-off is I'm not getting paid. And when you're doing something, you should be paid for your time. So instead of using all of my time to just build up this channel, which I enjoy doing and I will continue to do, I need to also look at the other side, and that is, you know, building my brand, building a client base, and dedicating some time to do paid work. That's just the smart thing to do. Diversify, split things up. Don't just put your eggs in one basket. And that's one of the concepts that I've been working on behind the scenes whilst I've been taking this break. So with that being said, you can understand that I have little free time. And with that little free time, I can't be pumping out 2-3 videos a week. It just doesn't work. And that means this fat loss series, I'm going to have to dead it. I'm going to have to kill it on the YouTube channel. And also, I'm going to stop doing this thing where I'm always pumping out, you know, food related videos on a Saturday. And so if I have any spare content, I'm trying to squeeze that in the middle of the week. No, what I'll be doing now is I'll just be putting stuff out on a weekly basis. So some of the food reviews will get replaced by the vlogs or whatever. But obviously this is temporary. When I have more time and I feel like it makes sense, then I'll be putting stuff out, you know, more than once a week. But I don't want to exhaust myself. It just doesn't make sense to do that, you know. Just take things, stay in your lane, take things, not to, obviously I should push myself, but don't push myself too much, because your mindset, your health, it's important. This journey for the fat loss is something that I'm still working on. I've decided that I'm gonna try and put that content on Instagram instead. So Instagram stories. So if you're interested in that, you might as well just follow me on Instagram. Maybe some of you have already, but if you haven't, I'll leave it down here so you guys can actually follow me on Instagram, follow my journey, and I'll try and make it a bit more snappy, a bit more informative, and not droning on like how I used to do it on the YouTube thing. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to get off my chest. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And oh yeah, I'll be dropping the Shanghai vlog today, because I haven't finished it. I'll be dropping that today, so I hope you guys enjoy that. But yeah, that's the end. Peace.